Hello there, world. Bettina Carey here, and I'm founder and CEO of We Empower You, the global community, and weempoweryourlife.com, the website. And today I'm going to be announcing that we are kicking off episode number 1, the Go-To Branding Podcast, featuring personal brand coach and speaker Tequila Cousar. Today's topic, helping amazing women with amazing missions monetize their brands. Here's a little bit about Tequila. Tequila is a personal branding coach, a 2-time #1 international bestselling author, entrepreneur, and founder of Intoxicating Brands, LLC. Female entrepreneurs and business owners hire her when they are ready to humanize their brand by way of their personality and their strengths. As a certified life coach with over 15 years of business experience and insights, she uncovers hidden gems that you never knew were there and helps you to build an online persona that's magnetic. She herself is very magnetic, I might add. She's been featured in the Huffington Post, Thrive Global, Shout Out Texas, and many more publications. And she is the shot that your brain needs and business craves. Welcome to, it's so great to have you here today, Tequila.
Thank you so much. That introduction is always, I love it. Thank you.
Well, today we are actually going to be diving deep into your neck of the woods. You are a branding expert. This is what you drink every single day with your shots of tequila. And I can drink that too every day. That's my language. I love branding. I love marketing. And this is Go-To Branding, episode number 1 of our podcast that we kicked off here today on May 16th. So thank you for being our very first guest. So tell us a little bit about how you define branding so that we at least know where we are and we get on the same page for those who are watching on Facebook.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bettina. I'm glad we're starting off with this. It's crazy because this is actually the core of most businesses. And a lot of people tend to overlook this part of branding.
Yeah.
And the difference between personal branding and branding, personal branding is the core of who you are. It's made up of your essence. That's who you are, your reputation, and how other people perceive you and your marketing, right? So if we have all of those things, then we can start to build our branding, which is the aesthetics. That means the website, the logo, and all of those stickers or your pins or bags, whatever branding, whatever is your branding, right? Whatever shows who you are as a personal brand. So that is the core of it, right? In that quick sentence, I believe that we are our greatest asset. So if we decided one day to wake up and say, hey, I no longer want to be a coach, I want to go into a different industry where I'm more of an entrepreneur. You can actually take everything that you have at your core of your personal branding and utilize it in that same aspect in that company.
Yes. And what's really great is that oftentimes people think that the branding is the look and the feel and all of those kinds of things. And in some ways it is. But in actuality, when you're a coach, a speaker, a mentor, thought leader, it really is you. You are the product. You are the one providing the service. So you are essentially the brand, and your branding elements need to demonstrate who it is you are, because people are actually buying you. And this is very different than, say, that you're a brand like Coca-Cola or 7-Up, or which is a Coca-Cola brand. And they're a house of brands, right? So there's lots of brands underneath the Coca-Cola label. But in the case of a coach, it's you, and you're the one the buck stops here. You're the one that has to really be represented in all of the elements of design, all of the labels, all of the logo itself, and the colors and the schemes that you use to define who it is you are. So what are some of the questions that you might be asking folks that are going to be diving deep into their branding, and that you're providing that service for them?
One of the biggest that I ask people, I ask them different questions, but one of the biggest ones that people get really stuck on is when I ask them, how do your customers perceive you, right? It's I don't know, right? They feel as if they can go out and just put things in people's faces and people are supposed to just buy it. But I say there's a honeymoon period, then there is actually a marriage, right? I know it seems backwards, but the honeymoon is where people are really falling in love with you before they marry you. Maybe I call it a courtship, I guess. But you have to build the relationship with people in a way that they actually see you as, I think I need her or him, right? You want people to perceive you as a person that is going to be the go-to, just as you are, Bettina, right? People know what they need before they get to you because you have perceived yourself in a way where you're educating, inspiring, and giving people all of the information that they need. And so they're like, I think I need her, right? Yeah. But some of us are just pretty much putting out our product and service and thinking that everybody needs you, and it's not that. Not everybody needs what you have. Not everybody needs what I have, right? Some people have gotten this type of coaching, but when they go back into their business and they see that they missed this big step, then they come back and they hire me for that reason. So one of the biggest ones is, how are people perceiving you? What do you stand for? What do you stand against? Some people don't know those things. So when you go out and market yourself online, you can actually say what you stand for and what you stand against without feeling as if some people you're repelling people from what you're doing. You're actually attracting your tribe. We say that, you're attracting the people who actually love, who like, who know, who's going to trust you in the end and are willing to invest in that.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're like me, where you're growing a community, and that is part of our brand, is that we have to feel like a community, right? We can't be just a number and, like you're assigned, someone that's a stranger to you or anything like that, because at the end of the day, this is a community of people and we need to be able to attract all of the right people. In the sense, when I say right, I mean, if we're not your cup of tea, that's okay. You might be drinking a different brand. That's all right. But if you're going to be drinking our brand of tea, then you're going to want to know a few things about us. And so one of the ways that we invite people to our brand is actually we have them come to our free meetings because we want them to be able to experience those people that we've attracted into our tribe, into our community. And when we do that, we find that people will either stay and then they'll be married to us for life, or they'll go and we're not that for them. And that's okay. We don't have any qualms with people who don't feel us, because they don't get us, we're not going to get them either, right? But it generally doesn't happen that they're even attracted to come to a meeting unless they're part of who it is we're attracting. So you said that you've been in this field and you wrote two number one best-selling books. What would folks find in your books that might inspire them to take a look?
Oh my. So those books that I did were with others, an anthology. I think that's what they call it. I was with other women who were entrepreneurs. And so we all came together and wrote a book. The first book I did was She Conquered. That actually is how I got into personal branding, where I quit my full-time job in 2011 as a dental hygienist to be a full-time mom. And that's how I dove into entrepreneurship and figured out, oh my goodness, I have this skill, this talent, and this is my uniqueness. And I started really building that in the world. And here I am, almost 11 years later, because she's almost 11, years later. And I do it as an everyday thing. It's something I do every day, is help people with personal branding. And in my second book, which was actually called The Dragon Wears Red Lipstick, and The Dragon Slayer Wears Red Lipstick. And in this book, it was another anthology, and where I wrote a chapter. It's called The Black Card. And it talks about how as a Black entrepreneurship or a woman of color in the entrepreneurship field, how there are these things that we come against, right? As we tend to build our business. And I go into some of my stories of, trials, but also triumph inside of those pages. So yes.
Interesting that you should bring up that, as a Black enterprise, that you have gone from point A to point B to point C. And, I know that behind you, you've got that shot of tequila, which is also your brand. I wrote this weekend a little post on Facebook about anybody who's interested in becoming $1 million business, because that is elusive for so many people of color, including I'm a Latin woman, you're a Black woman, and we're heading in that direction ourselves. And I discovered along the way that only 3% of Black businesses end up being, actually of Blacks end up being millionaires, whether they own a business or not. And I thought that was pretty darn low. And I'm like on a mission to change that. And branding, of course, is a part of that. So tell us a little bit about how you work with women. Obviously, you're helping women of color. I'm a woman of color. You're helping me with the We Empower You. You're a member of We Empower You. I'd love to get your take on this.
So, on this journey, I've recognized a few things. A lot of women, of my clients, I have women, most of them are women. I get some men in there, but a lot of women struggle with that confidence factor, right? And that plays on how they perceive themselves. So, within my community, I've created this on the go coaching where it's called the Top Tier Society, where I really help women figure out how am I being perceived? How can I tap into that higher self, that I desire to be, or that high value woman as I categorize her. And it's an on the go coaching that I have. And I just launched that like last week. And so far, good reviews on it, right? Good reviews on how people really needed something like this. So I have that, but then also I have my coaching where you work with me either one-on-one or group. And either way, you get so much value out of it. There are things that we miss that we don't understand about ourselves, but also we don't understand about our clients. And one of the biggest things I have to tell you, when people leave my program, they always say, I never knew how to really merge who I am personally with my business. So marrying those two things are definitely going to allow you to have a long-lasting business. And that's what I teach.
I love it. I love it. In fact, that reminds me of a post that I posted also this weekend, and it's based on a quote that I read in an Oprah magazine in November of 2010. And it goes like this: there's a thing you do for a living, and then there's a thing that you were born to do. If your dream is to make them one and the same, you've come to the right place. And that was Patti Smith in Oprah's magazine in November of 2010. And I have to say, it is the way to go. I've been living into my purpose, my passion since 17 years old, when I stepped into my career in nurturing and nursing, and then now nurturing and bringing community together. And I love it. I simply love doing the work that I do. And I've been able to naturally blend my life into my work. And I live and breathe it every day. So, I'm not working really. I mean, it feels like I'm playing all day long with people like you. So Tequila, give us an example of someone who benefited recently from your working with them. They started over here, you got them over there. Give us an example so that folks that are watching and listening can really better understand how you work.
Yes. Okay. I love this because she was a client who was a six-figure earner, multiple six figures, and she had worked with corporations for a long time. Well, she tried to figure out, how can I go out and market myself where I am attracting corporations? But during our program, she figured those were not her people, right? She felt very burned out and she wanted to focus on her people. So we got her aligned with her audience, who were truly Black mom CEOs who are feeling burned out, right? And we figured out how to marry her voice because she was doing a lot of copy and pasting of what her copywriting. And I told her that's curated. You feel like a curated coach, you're more out of your identity. Let's get you into who you are, which is your identity. So we aligned her identity with her audience, and now she's doing amazing. By the end of the program, she was in like tears, unstoppable tears, because she lost sleep for many nights from the time she started working with me in our 12-week program to the end, because she was on fire with her new audience. And I loved it. It just brought me to tears.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
I love it when I'm on fire. Right now, I'm on fire about the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. You're going to be one of our speakers coming up. As always, you're a member of the We Empower You community, which we love to. So tell us a little bit about what folks can expect at the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit coming up on June the 8th.
Oh my goodness. You know, when I did it the first time, I was like, wow, I'm blown away. This was absolutely good. Then you do it again and everything is different. So I know for sure that it's going to be amazing. You put it together, you put some amazing speakers together, and it's a day full of, I can't miss it. Like, I carry my laptop everywhere I am in the house because I don't want to miss a speaker, because everyone that you put on stage brings value to me, right? Even though I've been building my business for all of these years, we can always learn something new, right? We can always be in that position to learn something new. So you're going to learn a lot. Come in with the growth mindset and take everything that you learned and just figure out how in the next 6 weeks can I put all of this, into works, or at least one or two things into my calendar and make it happen.
I love it. I love it. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and play our 2-minute commercial video so folks out there watching can see a little bit about what's expected here at the summit. And then we'll wrap up for our show here today. It's been great to have you as our very, very first guest. And of course, if you want to see Tequila Cousar at our summit, you're going to want to go to weempoweryourlife.com, click on the summit ticket tab. RSVP is required to get your Zoom details, but it is free to attend. So with that said, let's go ahead and play our video here. And I will give you a little bit optimized sound, and I'm going to hide this toolbar, and here we go. Coaching is a noble profession, but in these current tumultuous times, so many talented coaches are finding that they simply cannot connect with people that they could be helping. And people need our help more than ever these days. That is why I conceived the We Empower You Global Community and Global Virtual Summit. I'm Bettina Carey, and I'm inviting you to join with some of the world's leading empowerment coaches, trainers, authors, mentors, and thought leaders for our upcoming We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. There's an old adage and saying that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It is in that spirit of togetherness that we aim to help connect more talented coaches to the people that they might help. Join us for free and share your knowledge in this Find Wealth by Giving endeavor. And there isn't a hidden fee or big sales pitch at the end. You will be shoulder to shoulder with some of the world's best thought leaders, newsmakers, and game changers. And you will see for yourself exactly what the We Empower You global community and membership is all about. It's a blend of altruism and business, to be sure. This endeavor is audacious, and we hope to plant seeds that take deep roots. So we need you. If you have a goal of helping others reach and achieve that next rung, if your work aids in lifting people out of self-limiting beliefs, if you're ready to fix the world one client at a time, or spread your message to the masses, you're welcome to join us for our We Empower You Global Summit. Tickets are free, but RSVP is required. Scan the QR code if you're watching on TV, or go to our website at weempoweryourlife.com and click on the Summit Tickets tab to get more information and to claim your free Zoom admission ticket. We empower you. Together we will go far. So that is what we are up against here. And now normally I have 24 speakers on the day. This is going to be 36. action-packed lineup for this upcoming June the 8th summit. It's going to also be my birthday. I'll be turning 64. I'm so excited to be having you back, Tequila. Thank you so much for joining us today on Go-To Branding, episode number 1 with Tequila Cousar. I'm Bettina Carey, founder of and CEO of WeEmpowerYourLife.com, the website, and I look forward to seeing you at our next show. Bye for now.